First thing you want to do is grind all your grains. You measure them all out according to the Beersmith calculator, which I'll show you a screenshot of in a second. But what you want to do is grind up all your grains. Here's a Beersmith. It's a pretty good program. You can determine how many ingredients you need to add and which ingredients, how bitter you want it. So if you want to check it out at beersmithrecipes.com and do the trial. So what you want to do is grind up all your grains. I like to grind up all of them, all different grains, and then just mix them all together in a big holding vessel. So you're gonna want to make sure you get a nice coarse grain. Alright, so then you line the bottom of the pot with something to keep the bag from touching the bottom and scorching. Again, thanks IKEA. Line everything up, put it in the bottom of your pan, and put your bag in. I'll just note now, before you see me screw up, is that you should probably have clamps on the outside of the bag to hold it in place. It makes things a lot easier. And once you get everything lined up, you're ready to go. Turn on turn the temperature up on the stove, and start adding your water. Beersmith calculator had me adding 6.5 gallons. I think it was 25.94 quarts, which works out to be just about 6.5 gallons. So I used, there we go. That's why you're supposed to clamp it. So I have a gallon jug that I'm using to measure out and pour in 6.5 gallons of, I'm using filtered water. I hear it's not good to use reverse osmosis. Maybe reverse osmosis to supplement your water, but from what I understand, the beer yeast needs calcium in order to flocculate and drop out of suspension. So without the calcium in the water, which is what you get with reverse osmosis water, you could have some problems. So I'm just going with straight up filtered water. Again, 6.5 gallons. You notice I have got my thermometer in there, my now dead thermometer. I don't know what happened. Having some bad luck with my thermometer. Alright, so what you do is you just bring it up to temperature, and I believe the temperature that Beersmith had me go up to was 165. And that's before you add the grains, and of course when you add the grains it's going to bring the temperature down. So what you want to do is, this is called doughing in. You take your ground grains and you slowly add it in, and if you can have someone help stir it, that will prevent dough balls from forming. And you want to be able to get the grains in there, nice and loose, and stir them around so that there's a lot of surface contact with the water. Keep an eye on your temperature. I believe I was aiming for 149. If you find that the temperature falls down, drops down during the time that it's supposed to be there, you can just hit it for a couple minutes till it gets back up to temperature. Some people wrap it in a jacket. Now you measure out your hops. Get them ready. I'm going to be doing 2 hops additions, and I'm using a hops bag that Jasmine made. Thanks, Jazz. Okay, once your hour is done, you're going to be grabbing the bag and lifting it out. It's usually a pretty good idea to suspend it over the pot. And there's my assistant, Chris. Thanks, Chris. You kind of want to drain out as much of that wort inside the bag as possible. And it's hot. Yay, we're happy. It's hot, so there are different people use different methods. I was just kind of pushing on it with a pair of tongs. But I got a lot of it out. This is it's a heavy, hot bag. Okay, so now's the time you want to remove all the stuff in the bottom of the pan, because we're gonna go with a boil. So I take out the silicone bumpers, basically. Take them out. Take out your strainer, and get everything ready for your boil. I don't know why it was so hard for me to find those. Okay, now it's time to bring it up to a boil. Turn on your hot plate and crank it up. I found that this particular hot plate was not suitable for doing this, and I'm going to be working on getting a heat stick to get a nice heavy boil. So once you get up to temperature and you get a boil, that's when you add your hops, set your timer. If you have any other hops additions, you set your timer and do your hops additions. This is a wort chiller. Basically, the idea is you pump cold water through this. And we're lucky here in New England, we got lots of snow, so I go out, fill up a pot of snow, and what happens now is the water comes up, the cold water comes up, the pump pushes it down through the wort chiller, and the hot water comes out at the end, and there's a heat exchange that cools off the wort. Now you want to cool the wort off as soon as possible. And this is about the time in the video where I was way over time and was rushing to get finished. Once your wort is cooled, you then siphon it off from the brew kettle into your carboy. And once the carboy comes down to the appropriate temperature, the temperature that you want to ferment at, that's the temperature you pitch your starter, and then you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed this brew in a bag walkthrough, and hopefully more videos to come.